On the news tonight, FCTA staff down tools. Plus, INEC FCT holds security training ahead of 2026 council polls. A very good evening and thank you for joining us on the 7 p.m. news on NT Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. I am Abdullah Hajia. Welcome. Let's begin. Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived Davos, Switzerland, to lead the Nigerian delegation at the 56th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum. He was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugal, and Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduole, and officials of the Nigerian mission in Switzerland. The 2026 World Economic Forum marks a milestone in Nigeria's global economic diplomacy with the official debut of Nigeria House of Davos for the first time. The federal government has established a dedicated sovereign pavilion on the Davos promenade. This facility, a product of a successful public-private partnership, will serve as a permanent hub for high-level ministerial engagement, investment roundtables, and cultural diplomacy throughout the week. Vice President Shettima will present Nigeria's 2026 economic outlook to the world's most influential political and business leaders as he participates in key plenary sessions focusing on the responsible deployments of artificial intelligence AI, quantum computing, and biotechnology. Throughout the week, the Vice President will hold bilateral meetings with heads of state, top executives from multinational corporations, and leaders of international development finance institutions to deepen partnerships that align with the renewed hope agenda of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Back home in Nigeria, activities at the Secretariat of the Federal Capital Territory Administration and the Federal Capital Development Authority (FCDA) have been grounded following the strike embarked upon by the Joint Union Action Committee over demand for improved working conditions. Onozi Yakubu is on hand with the situation report.
As early as 8 o'clock Monday morning, the main gates of the Secretariats of the Federal Capital Territory Administration and the Federal Capital Development Authority were under lock, preventing staff and visitors from gaining access to the complex for their daily routines. Many workers remain at home in strict compliance with the industrial action in order to press home their demands for a better working condition in the FCTA.
We have issues of non-remittance of our pension funds to our pension fund manager, to our administrators. We have issues of non-resolved issues about the National Housing Fund. We have issues of tenure elongation for directors that are supposed to, and they are kept stunting our growth. We have issues of mass failure in the just concluded CBT exam.
The JUAC chairperson urges members to maintain the status quo until further directives.
Everybody is feeling the pinch of this. You stay in an office environment that overheads are not being paid. There are recurrent expenditures for running the day-to-day of the offices, and they are not being paid. You don't have papers to work, you don't have tuners, you can't keep your closets clean, and so many other issues.
These long queues of vehicles parked on the road shoulders are indications of no retreat, no surrender by the leadership of the JUAC, which are stationed at the gates of the secretariats to enforce compliance. Onoze Yakubu, NT News.
Traders at the Kubo Furniture Market in the Federal Capital Territory are counting their losses after a fire outbreak which destroyed several shops. Hakimat Aliyu brings us details from the scene of the incident.
The incident was said to have occurred in the early hours of Sunday morning, destroying wooden furniture, tools and other valuable items at the Kubu Furniture Market.
Around 8 a.m., we were called that fire incident occurred in this market, which we don't even know the cause of it. But we believe anything can happen. Even offices anywhere can got fire at any time, which we will not even know the cause of the fire. But what we know is that everything in this market got burned yesterday.
Like the chairman have rightly said, we cannot immediately now quantify the loss here because the loss is much. There are some of our colleagues whose shop are burned that they are not even around now to tell us what exactly they have in the shops.
There's a lot of money damages, machines, equipment, and a lot of property that damaged.
Happened. Like you can see the whole environment, everybody's heart is breaking. But by and large, if not because of the response from the fire service fighter, this matter will have been more devastating more than what you see here.
Although no life was lost, many traders say they have lost their only means of livelihood to the inferno. At the time of the visit, traders and security operatives were seen preventing scavengers from cutting away remaining items, including iron materials and zinc. The cause of the fire is still unknown. This is not the first time such an incident is happening in the market. A similar fire outbreak was recorded last year, which also destroyed several shops and properties, raising concerns over fire safety measures in the area.
Let also all the markets in FCT, even in all Nigeria, let them have fire trucks. Number two, let them install fire defense equipment, fire routers that can send signals to fire control room.
The incident has left many traders worried about their future, which calls on government and relevant authorities to come to their aid. In Abuja, Hakimat Ali, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the fire incident at Kubu Commercial Furniture Market has drawn sympathy visit from political leaders. Hakimat Aliyu again brings us details on the visit by the House of Representative member for Amak Buhari, Chinedu Obika, and the Amak chairmanship candidate for the Social Democratic Party. The report.
Member representing Amak Buhari Federal Constituency, Honorable Chinedu Obika, the chairmanship candidate of the Social Democratic Party for Amak, Obinna Simon, alongside other political party forwards, and their team visited the Kubu Furniture Market to assess the level of damage and to commiserate with victims of the fire outbreak, which occurred on Sunday morning.
I am tired of coming to tell my people sorry because sorry does not solve the problem. This market that got burned today, somebody will go back to the village and will not come back again.
Thank God that no life is lost. That's one thing I'm thanking God for. We are here to commiserate with them and encourage them that the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. And they should also imbibe insurance, because if this place is insured, a little token they will be paying, it will look like as if they are wasting money. But when such incidents happen, insurance will just cover up whatever. People wouldn't even know they lost anything. And insurance is working these days.
In this market, for instance, there should be a kind of staff from AMAC whose duty will also be to attend to emergency situations. There is nothing like that in this market.
Speaking during the visit, Obinna Simon described the incident as painful and unfortunate and called on relevant authorities to come to the aid of the affected traders with relief materials as well as improve fire safety measures in the market to prevent future occurrences.
This is a market that generates a lot of revenue for the area council. So if it does that, it is a duty for you to protect that market at all costs. You must make sure that that market is up and running. With what happened now, the area council is losing revenue.
The traders at the Kubu Furniture Market appreciated the visit and appealed for government intervention to help them recover from their losses.
We thank God for the government officers that come this morning to sympathize with us. That is the kind of government we have been longing to see.
The visit also provided opportunity for the SDP chairmanship candidate and a team to interact with the traders and seek their support ahead of the forthcoming FCT Area Council elections. In Abuja, Hakimat Ali, NT.
Talking politics now, the Zenith Labour Party staged a mega rally in Buari Area Council as momentum builds towards the FCT Area Council elections. Party leaders, candidates and supporters turned out in their numbers, with strong participation from youth, women groups and community members. Hawagimba reports that the rally focused on mobilizing voters and highlighting the party's vision for grassroots development, inclusive governance and better service delivery.
The stage is now set for the forthcoming FCT Area Council elections as members and supporters of Senate Labour Party gathered in Buari Area Council to prompt support for their chairmanship candidate Solomon Darie Danjuma. Party leaders, candidates, supporters, youths, persons with disabilities, women groups and residents from various communities turned out, demonstrating strong grassroots support and commitment to the party's vision for development. The rally provides an opportunity to educate and sensitize FCT residents on the party's agenda for inclusive governance, improved social services, youth empowerment and infrastructural development if elected into office. Dressing crowd, party leaders and supporters call on residents to come out en masse on election day, participate peacefully in the process and safeguard their votes.
They have assured us that elections will be free and fair. With what happened here, with the kind of crowd, the kind of acceptance from people living with disability, the women, the youth, our mothers and our fathers, the media, you can see that the Zenith Labour Party, ably led by Chief Barrister Dan Wanyawu, MN and OFR, is on ground and we are here to take over.
The chairmanship candidate, Solomon Darie Danjuma, reassures supporters of transparent and people-oriented leadership, pledging to work closely with traditional rulers, community leaders and stakeholders to improve the welfare of residents in Buari Area Council.
Level of acceptance, because the people of Buari Area Council have decided that they need a leader that they know, a leader that they trust, and a leader that they believe has the credibility and competence to be able to transform Buari Area Council. This crowd you are seeing here, this is a genuine supporters, these are organic supporters, these are our followers. They are here to make a statement to tell the people of Buari Area Council that ZLP is the only party.
The Zenith Labour Party says it remains committed to issue-based campaigns, peaceful participation and democratic ideals across the Federal Capital Territory. The mega rally tour took supporters, party leaders round some streets in Kubwa to seek their support come February 2026 FCT Area Council elections. Hawagimba, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has commenced a central-level training for election security personnel in the FCT ahead of the 2026 Area Council polls. The training, which brings together officers from multiple security agencies, is aimed at strengthening interagency coordination and ensuring a peaceful, credible, and transparent electoral process. Political correspondent Rabiat Shaib reports.
These are security personnel drawn from various security agencies who are here for a central-level training organized by INEC's Electoral Institute. The objective is to build a coordinated security framework capable of safeguarding voters, electoral materials, and polling officials before, during, and after the poll.
This training is to prepare our security agencies for the conduct of the FCT Area Council election. There are security challenges in areas that have already been identified. Police are actually paying good attention to it. And the other aspect is, of course, INEC is concerned about security support to deploy early. You know, by INEC guidelines, we're supposed to be at the post by 7 a.m. And when we have cooperation of the police, we will deliver on that.
That's why you have all of the security agencies represented. And they meet to review policies, you know, to synergize so that the good people of FCT will be protected.
Senior security officials present, including the FCT Commissioner of Police and the Commandant of the NSCDC, described the training as timely. They assured residents of the FCT of their readiness to maintain law and order, stressing that effective elections require strong interagency collaboration, intelligence sharing, and rapid response to security threats.
We are in top-level synergy with all members of security agencies. An operation order is going to be raised, capturing every agency. So they're sending their list to the police. The police will be the one to raise the ops order, and it is geared towards safety of FCT, its residents, before, during, and after the election.
All eyes are on FCT come February 21st, and of course, as security agencies, we need to get it right. Don't forget, we are non-partisan and we're expected to be neutral. So there's a level of professionalism that is expected to this initial training. They will go down and ensure that it cascades down.
INEC maintains that only an election conducted in an atmosphere of peace, neutrality and transparency can truly reflect the will of the people. In Abuja, Rabia Shaib, NTA News.
Still on the election, the Federal Capital Territory Council Election Tribunal has been constituted. The three-man tribunal is headed by Lateef Oladapo Abolaji, a magistrate. Dele Atumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
Administering oath of office on the three-man FCT Area Council Election Tribunal, the Chief Judge of the High Court of the FCT, Justice Hussaini Baba Yusuf, says the inauguration of the tribunal is a solemn constitutional moment bearing directly on the stability of democratic governance at the grassroots and on public confidence in the justice system. Justice Baba Yusuf maintains that the area councils constitute the closest tiers of government to the daily lives of the people and form the basic civic order that sustains communities. He explains that where electoral disputes arise at this level, they must be resolved promptly, fairly, and strictly in accordance with the law, not by speculation, pressure, partisanship, or the sheer volume of public sentiments. Justice Baba Yusuf urges members of the tribunal to be fair and just to all the petitioners.
This mandate is not to confer political advantage, validate public opinion, or serve as a battleground for partisan conflict. Rather, your singular obligation is to administer justice in accordance with the law. It is important to underscore that election petitions are sui generis. They are governed by specialized rules and strict timelines. They demand a disciplined case management and adjudication that is both legally rigorous and appropriately responsive to urgency.
This tribunal serves as a court of first instance for election disputes relating to the FCT area councils pursuant to the applicable constitutional and electoral framework. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
The Teranga Lions of Senegal are champions of Africa after emerging victorious in a dramatic final at the final of the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Let's join Shamsuddin of our sports desk for more.
Senegal emerged victorious as the champions of the 2025 African Cup of Nations, narrowly defeating the tournament hosts Morocco with a 1-0 scoreline in a tense final that extended into extra time at the Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat. Morocco were given a chance to win the game with a last-minute penalty by top scorer Brahim Diaz, but his poor attempt was saved by the Senegalese goalkeeper. The pivotal moment arrived courtesy of Pape Gueye, who executed a remarkable solo run deep into extra time, culminating in a powerful strike that surpassed the Moroccan goalkeeper and left the capacity crowd of over 68,000 spectators in stunned silence, securing Senegal's triumph as African champions. Brahim Diaz picked up the top scorer award, and Yacine Bono of Morocco picked up the award for best goalkeeper, while Sadio Mane picked the man of the tournament award. In Europe, Manchester United beat rivals Manchester City 2-0 at Old Trafford on Saturday, while Arsenal extended their lead at the top of the table to 7 points after Aston Villa lost at home to Everton 1-0. In Spain, Real Madrid closed the gap at the top of the table to 1 point after picking a 2-0 victory at home, while Barcelona lost to Real Sociedad. Moving to Paralympics, Africa's premier para-badminton athlete Eniola Bolaji was victorious at the 2026 Egypt International Championship held on Sunday, January 18th. The Paralympic bronze medalist triumphed over the world-ranked number 7 Halim Yildiz of Turkey with a score of 2-0, 21-10, 21-4 at the new Capital Indoor Hall in Cairo to triumph in the competition. With Sports Brief, Shamsuddin Usman, NTA News.
Thank you for your company. Translation of the news is next. I am Abdullah Hajja. Good evening.
azan ba jile ba je ba ci ba wai wizo ataniya kwa wai wona na yiwo abda zaza isha ndaje zuma wani ye wa goba ngai a gwamnati atin shi nanu bakin sunna ba ku fa na tun lobo onya ko lakala nan ye ba ta yin pe shilo ne ba be jezebe atin shi ba nchen oneze yakubu wona le shi ba wo be na bedai wa ngai a gwamnati atin shi ba adagbanya nanu bakin sunna ba ta bar tuko yi tun inu a ta zai ba in na yin ba yin ga shi ba ya fa tun jimbo in na yin ba ta yin fe shilo in ba jeza bai ce an tuko tige abu umma belo no gwamnati go kwaji amma ko ta shin balon ba yi zai be dai wa cige ye zabai jiwa gogwa no owo dadi na yi kan inu abwaze ba no ona yiba no kugbein sansan je dnalo ko yin jin agnabe no agbegbe sepa iku lo abai ho balba ye shi ajiye ya shilo no azaba no ba ni jin lo ba se abwad nanu jin ko yin hakima ali wona le sheba wo be na bedai wa ngai gad nanu azad na mai nabe bokun bibiya woni jin lo no waya sepa bedo municipal gwamnati bibi wakin zuna yayin honorable Chinedu Obika bedo no zai woni jilo we za simpeje zai municipal gwamnati bibi a kinzin na no abegbe puanya no ayiba no apabu bege Social Democratic Party ayogo obina samoyi baye kulo abaye bedo no azar na gban aje ama obugba fuanya okonige zahwi tednan ayin pe titi to wosin antunu azakinbo mba belo kakapiai nko dinalo mmi nanu okinzin ne peji azakinya nanu okinzin na bala zagu yeji bai gaba mutu nchedo no awe kan yai antuko tunu azakinbo azanu ale sheba we be na beda na yo Rabiat Shaib wa nage azagu no apeje gbogbo baye ku be mutu baye ayajinde no na baye ashiba akala neteji bedeya na bai abe zanzan chowo mbugbafi ntna aya ko jifi no azakiri amaje abe bagwa wole lainu saisu
ẹ̀kálẹ́ ẹ̀ka àtòwúrọ̀ ìròyìn aago méje ti èdè Yorùbá ló dé sí ti gbọ̀yìn láti olúlé iṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán NTA ìkànnì karùn-ún tìlú Àbújá Títílayọ̀kẹ́ òun lórúkọ tèmi ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń lọ ní ilé akọ̀wé àwọn elétò olú ìlú wa àti ilé iṣẹ́ tó rí sí àṣẹ ìdàgbàsókè ìyẹn FCDA ti wá sí ìmúṣẹ nígbà tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìdáṣẹ́dúró látọwọ́ ìgbìmọ̀ àpapọ̀ àjọ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tí wọ́n béèrè fún ìdàgbàsókè lórí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ ilé iṣẹ́ wọn. Ìjàmbá iná tó wáyé ní ọjà Kùgbó ti ṣe okùnfà àbẹ̀wò ìbánikẹ́dùn látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọ̀gá àgbà òṣèlú ní olú ìlú wa. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Akimat Aliyu jábọ̀ lórí àbẹ̀wò náà pé aṣojú ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣojúṣòfin ọlọ́lá Chinedu Obika àti olùdíje fún àwọn alága ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ ní abẹ́ àsíá òṣèlú Social Democratic Party Obina Simon. Lákòótán, àjọ tó ń sí ètò ìdìbò ti olú ìlú wa INEC ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tó ń sí ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò fún ìdìbò ní olú ìlú wa. Èyí jẹ́ ìgbáradì ṣáájú fún ètò ìdìbò ìgbìmọ̀ agbègbè ọdún 2026 tó ń bọ̀ lọ́nà. Rabiat Shaib jábọ̀ pé ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ náà mú àkójọpọ̀ wá fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ káàkiri ilé-iṣẹ́ ààbò èyí sì ṣe okun fún àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ náà lọ́lọ́kan-ò-jọ̀kan láti tún lè rí dájú pé ètò ìdìbò náà lọ ní ìrọ̀wọ́ ìrọsẹ̀ láìsí màgòmágó tàbí láì ní mọ̀dàrú nínú. Kò ní jù báyìí lọ láṣálẹ̀ yìí. Títílayọ̀ Kẹ́hún lórúkọ tèmi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí láyọ̀ láti máa pàdé. Kásùn láyọ̀, kájí láyọ̀.